Okay, welcome all of you to this session of illustration of the topic fraction, ratio and proportion. Now let's see the example. What is given in the example? Divide rupees 720 between two partners in the ratio 5:7. So what we do? Two partners are there, A and B, and we have to divide that into 5:7. So the contribution of each one of them may be 5n to 7n. So A is getting 5n, B is getting 7n. Further we know that 5n plus 7n, the contribution, this amount which A gets and amount which B gets is equal to 720. So we get 12n is equal to 720. So we get n is equal to 60. Now substituting this value of n is equal to 60 over here, the A will get 5n, the A will get 5n means 5 into 60 means 300. B will get 7n means 7 into 60 is equal to 420 and total is 720. Thus 720 rupees are distributed in A and B so that A will get 300, B will get 420 and their ratio is 5:7. Thus we are able to divide it. Let's see the next problem. Read the problem, dwell upon it, and then we'll see the solution part of it. Check whether you are able to formulate it or not, so that we will be able to appreciate the intricacy of the problem. A bag contains coins of denomination 50 paisa, 25 paisa and 10 paisa in the ratio 7:4:3, amounting rupees 240. Find the number of coins of each denomination. Now let us consider that we have 50 paisa, 25 paisa and 10 paisa. Now they are in the ratio 7:4:3. So we say that 7A, 4A, 3A. The total number of 50 paisa coins are 7A. Total number of 25 paisa coin is 4A and 10 paisa coin 3A. Why I have taken 7A, 4A, 3A? They automatically are in the ratio 7:4:3. So we need not take pains to further understand and modify it. Now it is further given that the total amount is rupees 240 is equal to 24000 paise. Because all these are in paise, so I have to convert this into paise. Okay. Now, naturally, we are having 7A coins of 50 paise denomination. I am having 4A coins of 25 paise denomination. And I am having 3A coins of 10 denomination. So we know the number of coins, value of coin, number of coin, value of coin, number of coins, value of coin. And we simplify 24,000 paise, 50 into 7, 350A, 25 into 4, 100A, 10 into 3, 30A. So we get 24,000 is equal to 480A. A is equal to 24,000 upon 480 is equal to 2400 upon 48 divided by 24 up and 24 down. 2400 divided by 24, only 100. 48 by 24. So we get A is equal to 50. Means 50 paise coins are 7A. A is 50. So total coins I am having 350. 25 paisa coin 4A means total coins I am having 200. 10 paisa coin 3A means total coins I am having 150. And the moment I get the number of coins, I can put them into value and I can get the answer. Like 50 paisa coin, I'll just rub it and once again put it over here. 50 paise into 350 coins. 25 paise and such 200 coins, and 10 paise and such 150 coins. Look here, 50 paise into 350 will contribute to 175 rupees. This into this, 0 0 will cut down. This will 100 rupees. This will 15 rupees. And this total, if you make it out, 25 into 200, how much it is? 25 into 200, how much it will come? 50, not 100. So 175 plus 50 plus this one will be 240. So this is the 240 rupees having three different denomination, 20, 50, 25, 10, and we obtain the quantity 350, 50 paise, 200, 25 paise, 150, 10 paise, because they are given in the ratio 3:4:3, and ratio is also there and their value is also there different. Therefore double variables are there. One is a quantity, other is the value per denomination. 50 paise is different than 25 than 10. So the problem becomes little bit more complicated. Next problem. Read the problem carefully and then try to formulate it. When you read the problem, you keep on putting variables for all the unknowns and then try to get it. Look here. The speed of three vehicles are in proportion 7:3:8. Find the proportions of time taken by them to travel the same distance. 7:3:8. Now there are three vehicles. Now vehicles are A, B, C. Naturally, their actual speeds are in a ratio 7:3:8. I can say that their actual speed may be 7D, 3D, 8D. The moment I can take their ratio which are available, the speeds of three vehicles A, B, C are respectively, we can assume A as 7D, B as 3D, C as 8D, so that A is to B is to C, they come in a ratio 7:3:8. Now let's suppose to cover a certain distance D, A requires P time, B requires Q time, C requires R time. Now we know that speed is equal to distance upon time. Now for all of them distance is same, so we have to correspondingly make it. For A, what will happen? For A, speed is how much? Speed is 7D is equal to distance is capital D upon time is P. Then for B, 3D is equal to 3D is the speed is equal to distance upon time Q. And for C, speed is 8D is equal to distance is capital D upon time is R. A, B, C. These were the speeds which we are assuming a ratio 7:3:8. We have taken actual speeds are 7D, 3D, 8D. 7D, 3D, 8D. Distance covered by all of them is same D, but the time taken by all of them is different. And we are supposed to find out the proportion of P is to Q is to R. So we got this equation. From this, I can say that P is equal to D upon 7D. From this, I can say Q will on this side, 3D on this side, Q is equal to D upon 3D. From this, R is equal to D upon 8D. Very simple. Therefore, we have obtained the value of P in terms of capital D by small d, capital D by small d, capital D by small d. And therefore, now we can write the entire thing in a nutshell, because what we are supposed to calculate the ratio of the time taken by them. What is P is to Q is to R? We put the value of P as D by 7D, D by 3D, D by 8D, which we have calculated from this. D by 7D, D by 3D, 3 by 8D. And now as constant of proportionality we say d by d, d by d, d by d will cancel. I'll get 1 by 7 to 1 by 3 to 1 by 8. So simply the speeds are proportional to 1 by 7, 1 by 7, 1 by 3 and 1 by 8. Now try to find out LCM of this. There is nothing common in 7 and 3 and 8. So LCM will be their simple multiplication. So what we do, we try to express same thing in terms of their multiplication. Their multiplication will be 7 into 8, 56, 56 into 3, 168. So I say that this is 168 is to 168 is to 168. What I am doing? 1 by 7 I am expressing as something upon 168. So 1 by 7 is equal to how much by 168? We realize it is 24 by 168. If I divide, look, 24 by 168. If I divide this by 24, I'll get 1. If I divide this by 24, I'll get 7. Now second thing is 56 by 168. If I divide both by 56, I'll get 1 here, I'll get 3 here. So 1 by 3 I am expressing like this. 1 by 8 I am expressing as 21 by 160. Typically you will find that when it is 7, multiplication of these two, 8 into 3 I am taking here. When it is 3, the multiplication of these two I am taking here. When it is 8, multiplication of these two things I am taking over here. Simple one. Now as 168 is common to all of them, the ratios will be 56 to 21, and therefore we get answer in simple way. Let's see the next problem. Read the problem carefully and try to formulate it in terms of the variables and relationship. What is there? The ratio of number of boys and the girls in a college is 4:3. If 25% of boys and 30% of girls are scholarship holders, what percentage of the student doesn't get scholarship? Now nicely analyze this problem, keep it in mind. Now what we do, we start with the thing, let the number of boys be B and girls be G, but it is given that they are in the ratio 4:3. So can we imagine boys and girls 4:3? So 4A is to 3A. They are in the ratio 4:3. So we assume that number of boys will be 4A and number of girls will be 3A. So total class strength will be 7A. 4A plus 3A. Total class strength will be 7. So we have understood the basic part of it. Now we realize that what is given in the problem? 25% boys get the scholarship. So 25% of 4A scholarship holders, 25% of 4A, and about girls it is 30% of the girls. So 30% of 3A they get scholarship. Okay, 25% of 4A and 30% of 3A they get the scholarship. So total people getting scholarship, you can make it out. 25% of 4A is what? 25% of 4A. This is 30% of 3A. So we get here, I'll get A. I'll get here 25 into 4 is 100, 100 by 100 means A. So A, total A boys will get scholarship, and here 9 by 100, isn't it? So it will be 90 by 100. So 0.9A, am I right? This will be 0.9A, alright? So this is 1A and this is 0.9A. So out of 4A boys, 1A boys get scholarship. Out of 3A girls, 0.9A girls get the scholarship. So scholarship by boys, scholarship by girls. So total students getting scholarship from among boys 1A, from among girls 0.9A is equal to 1.9A. Okay, and we know that what percentage of the student they do not get the scholarship. Students, now total students are 7A. From 7A, 1.9A get the scholarship. So 7A minus 1.9A is equal to 5.1A. So 5.1A total students who do not get scholarship. That will be 5.9A. And therefore, when we talk about the percentage of the students not getting the scholarship will be 5.1A students, they do not get scholarship out of 7A. So percentage of the student not getting scholarship will be mere percentage of this. That is, we find percentage not getting scholarship is equal to 5.1A upon 7A into 100% is equal to 5.1 into this is 510 upon 7 percentage. 510 upon 7 percentage, and which is equal to 72.85%. Now this is the answer which we get. Again, we'll see one more illustration to get the idea of it. Okay. Now read the problem carefully and try to understand it. It is using the ratio proportion concept twice. It is using the ratio proportion concept 2 times. Let's see. A and B are the alloys of gold and copper prepared by mixing metals in the ratio 7:4 and 7:13. Now this is gold, this is copper, this is alloy 1, this is alloy 2. Now alloy 1 is what? It is in ratio 7:4. So I am getting, now it is further given that if equal quantities of alloy are melted to form third alloy C. So the quantity of alloy 1, suppose W kilogram, then quantity of alloy 2 is also W kilogram. Now gold to copper ratio in alloy 1 is how much? 7:4. So here the ratio is 7:4. So naturally what I will do? I will take this as 7W to 4W. This is the gold, this is the copper. In what? In alloy A. Now let's see what there in alloy B. Alloy, second alloy. It is in the ratio 7:13. So 7:13. So 7W gold, 13W copper. Now what we do? Gold to copper is available over here. We get the gold to copper ratio. It is 7/11 to 4/11. So we get 7W/11 upon 4W/11. Now total will be this much plus this much. We'll get 11W. Now when we consider alloy 3. Alloy 3 will be what? Alloy 3 will be W kilograms of alloy 1 plus W kilograms of alloy 2. W kilograms of alloy 1, it has 7W out of 11. So typically I will find actually kilograms, suppose if I make it out, it will be 7/11W and this will be 4/11W. Why? It is 7W out of 11 because 7W plus 4W, the total weight will be 11. So 7/11 and 4/11. How will you go about now? We will take the proportion 7/11W, 4/11W. Here we take proportion 7 plus 13 will be 20. So I will take the proportion 7/20W and 13/20W. You understand here? 7 and 13 total is 20. So I will make it 7/20 is to 13/20. 7 plus 4 is 11. So I will make 7/11 is to 4/11. Idea is that then I can take a fraction. In 1 7/11, in 1 4/11, but in W 7/11 of W, 4/11 of W, 7 by 20 of W, 13 by 20 of W. Now this will be gold and this will be copper. Naturally, when alloy 3 I talk about, how much is the gold here? Gold from 7 by 11 W, this is from alloy 1 plus 7 by 11 W from alloy 1, 7 by 20 W from alloy 2. So this will be gold, this will total gold, gold upon copper. Gold is coming from alloy 1, alloy 2. How much is from alloy 1? This is the gold from alloy 1 and this is the gold from alloy 2. This is the copper from alloy 1 and this is the copper from alloy 2. So from gold coming from 1 is 7 by 11 W. Gold coming from alloy 2 is 7 by 20 W upon copper coming from alloy 1 4 by 11 W and copper coming from alloy 2. We realize that the W will get cut down on both sides, and so we get 7 by 11 plus 7 by 20 total divided by 4 by 11 plus 13 by 20. Again, the LCM of the numbers will get it out. We'll get here LCM of 11 and 20, nothing common. So LCM will be mere multiplication, 220. So I can have 7 by 11 is equal to, I am having 220 as LCM, 220 as LCM. 7 by 11, I'll get how much here? I'll get 140 here. How I get 140? I divide this 220 by 11. How much I get? 20 and multiply this 7 by 20. So typically the 20 is multiplied by 7 and 11 is multiplied over here. I'll get 140 upon 220 is 7 by 11. 77 by 220 is 7 by 20. Similarly here 20 into 40, 11 into 13. I'll get 11 into 13, 140, 143. So I get this ratio, 220 will get cancelled down and I'll get 140 plus 77 upon 80 plus 143. And therefore I'll get 217 upon 223. And therefore you will find the ratio of gold to copper in alloy 3 will be 217 to 223. Friends, look here. Here the ratio and proportions are being used at two occasions, multiple occasions. One at alloy 1, some proportion given, alloy 2, another proportion is given. Same quantity of both of them is taken and alloy 3 is made. And alloy 3 is giving yet different proportion. So such complications can be generated, incorporated in the problem, and we can handle them. Okay, this is all for this session. Thank you.